Red Wing Hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by your Metro Detroit AMC Jeep Renault dealers, offering the all-new two-wheel, four-wheel, and front-wheel drive cars for 1981. And by Peschke and the Peschke Great American Premium line of meat products. And by Busch Beer. Remember, don't just reach for a beer, head for the mountains. Now, from ringside, here's Bruce Martin and Sid Abel.
And a happy good evening to you, everybody, from here at Madison Square Garden in New York. Tonight, the Detroit Red Wings meet again the New York Rangers. These same two teams who played at the Joe Louis Arena last night, with the Wings winning their second in a row, 4-2. Well, Sid Abel, the Red Wings got off to a rather disastrous start, losing their first 5 games and coming back to win their last 2, Colorado, and then yesterday in what was perhaps their best performance of the season, the 4-2 win over the New York Rangers. What do you look forward here tonight to?
Well, I want to say last night's game was by far their best, Bruce. They played as a hockey club should play. There were a few anxious moments, but I thought they played a strong hockey game. They have to repeat tonight because this Ranger club, they're in trouble. They've already lost 6 games. The crowd is on them. They have made a change now. Davison's coming out to play in the nets for them tonight. They've benched a couple players. They're a club that are hungry, and the Wings are going to have to come out and bump and skate and play positions to win a hockey game here in New York.
Well, all 4 Detroit Red Wing goals in the game played at the Joe Louis Arena last night were power play efforts. That's actually a good sign because the Wings have been extremely weak on the power play in recent games. They can't expect to be playing with a man advantage all that much here in New York tonight. And I think the other thing that Ted Lindsay and Marcel Pronovo seem to be happy about, they felt that they had their club checking better in last night's hockey game than they had in previous games.
Well, you know, they talk about hits and giveaways, and they felt that the Wings had the best night in hitting last night, and I don't believe they mean knocking fellas down. I think the only check, and we were talking about it earlier, Bruce, the only real hard check of the night, Cam Connors caught Mike Foligno out in center ice, and he really jarred him. Other than that, there was a lot of hooking, grabbing, whatnot, but the Wings were with their players, played their positions better than they had, and for the first night, I thought the defense handled themselves real well, particularly Reed Larson. I thought Larson played a very strong hockey game.
The other change we're going to be seeing tonight, I guess, is that Jimmy Rutherford, who's played the last 2 games, winning efforts, allowing 1 goal to Colorado and 2 last night to the New York Rangers, will be resting tonight. And Gilles Gilbert, the last we heard, is the starting goaltender for the Red Wings tonight. So we'll be seeing 2 different goaltenders than those we watched at the Joe Louis Arena. You mentioned last night a lot of... Oh, I thought it was kind of a chippy game at times, and perhaps it showed in the final second of the hockey game, because when the game ended, it was right around the Detroit goal. The Wings were congratulating Jimmy Rutherford. A helmet came off a Red Wing player, and Ron Greshner of the New York Rangers put it on the end of his stick and threw it up into the crowd. He got a 2-minute penalty for it, which didn't mean anything. It came at 20 minutes of the 3rd period, but something like that can carry over.
Well, there was no love lost last night, Bruce, and I don't expect any to be lost tonight. I think these clubs will go after one another, and again, I think the Wings have to shoot the puck and try and make the Rangers make mistakes. So that's the way you win hockey games.
Well, we'll see what happens here at Madison Square Garden, New York. We'll be back with the opening face-off in just a moment.
The Roundup. It sounds like thunder and moves like lightning. And when it's over, you head for the mountains. Push. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Brewed the natural way, so it's always as smooth as its name. Push. Head for Busch beer. Head for the mountains. Head for...
Come, drive in the 4th dimension. Experience the 4-wheel drive edge of the American Eagle. Feel all 4 wheels bite into bone-dry pavement, slice through rain, eat up snow. The American Eagle takes your family with confidence where it's never been before. And introducing an all-new Eagle with high gas mileage and a list price starting at $59.95. Experience driving in the 4th dimension with the American Eagles from American Motors.
As Marilyn Robbins sings our national anthem.
Start of this game, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight
Her name is Marilyn Robbins, and she has sung the national anthem, accompanied by a few people here in the Madison Square Garden. There's Gilles Gilbert. He's still looking for his first victory as a Detroit Red Wing. He played some rough games, all of them on the road, well, with the exception of the one where he lost to the New York Islanders at Detroit's Joe Louis Arena. But Gilbert has played better than that 5.75 goals against average would indicate in the 0-4 record. And there's John Davidson. John Davidson for the New York Rangers, who's been on the injured list with a sprained back, but seemingly is all right. This will be his 5th game on the season. Davidson has won, or rather hasn't won a hockey game. He's got 3 in the loss column.
They've been waiting for him to come back, so they went with Wayne Thomas 3 games in a row and didn't have any luck, so John Davidson is supposedly their answer to winning hockey.
The referee for the hockey game, Ron Hogarth. He's at center ice with his linesman, Paul Flaherty, Bob Hodges on the right. And this game about to get underway. The wing start, Jody Gage on the right wing, Brent Peterson at center ice, and Paul Woods on the left side. And from the opening face-off, the Ranger rookie Mike Allison, number 14, won the draw. Another rookie, Laidlaw, plays it into the Detroit zone. Greg Jolly, number 24, didn't get it out. That's Allison playing it in behind the goal. A centering pass knocked away. Dave Silk, another rookie, number 16 for the Rangers. Here's Peterson over the line into the New York zone. Trying to drop it out in front. It's held in at the line by Jolly, then knocked away from him, and here comes the first penalty of the game as Jolly took Allison down right at center ice, and the penalty will come up at just the 27-second mark of this first period.
And Mr. Allison helped that cause, Bruce. He just let himself flop and fall as soon as Jolly put the hook on him.
So the penalty to Jolly will come at just 27 seconds of this first period. And the Wings have their back to the wall in a hurry. Call it a holding penalty. So Jolly off for holding at 27 seconds of the first period. The Wings keep Paul Woods and Jody Gage out as penalty killers. Sid?
Well, Greg Jolly, I believe any player would have had to do what he did. As the player went to break by him, he just put the stick out. I would think he actually tripped him more than he held him, but Allison made sure he fell, I'll say that.
So now the Rangers have the extra man. Puck around the center ice area. Ulf Nielsen knocked down by Reed Larson. It came back to Barry Beck. Beck hands it off over on the right side to Greshner. This is Ron Greshner, number 4, moving in behind Davison. Rangers have the extra man. First power play opportunity of the game. Now Greshner plays it up the left side, and Reed Larson broke that up, shot it into the New York end, and the Rangers will bring it out on a delayed offside. Steve Vickers, number 8, failed to hold it, and again Reed Larson, who has stated, played a very solid game against these Rangers last night. Larson clears it back into the New York end. They've used up 40 seconds of the penalty. Now Vickers. Steve Vickers checked from behind by Paul Woods. Beck goes in, put a headlock on Woods, and there'll be a penalty coming up now to Barry Beck. He knocked the stick out of the hands of Paul Woods, and the penalty will be called. And that'll even up the sides in a hurry.
And this game is pretty well starting off the way the game was last night. It appears as though they're going to grab and hold one another and take one another out along the boards.
Beck hasn't made any move in.
Oh, no. He'll go in because he just manhandled Paul Woods from behind. Woods was trying to make a play on the puck. There's a good shot of Beck coming in. Beck wearing that facial mask because of getting hit in the mouth. Here's the play going to the corner. Now watch Paul Woods go over along the boards. Watch Beck come up over. Well, that doesn't show it. It shows Paul Woods. Now there goes the arm up over Paul Woods' shoulder, and he pulled Paul down.
Got a high sticking call as I heard it. 1 minute and 24 seconds, the time of that penalty. Now there's about a minute remaining in Jolly's penalty. This is Duguay, number 10, carrying into the Detroit end, but Phil Esposito was way offside, and they'll come back out over the blue line for a face-off. Barry Beck for high sticking, the time of his penalty, 1:24.
I understand he got 30 stitches in the mouth.
Oh, they said it was a terrible. In practice, the puck came up.
I recall years ago, Brian Watson, you probably on an exhibition game, someone shot the puck, and I swear he swallowed it.
Well, Beck, I guess, came pretty close. It said it cut him from the chin all the way up through his nose, knocked out 3 teeth. He was in bad shape. Now the Rangers have the play in the Detroit zone. Esposito dumped it in toward the corner. Duguay goes in there. He's tied up along the boards. The Wings dump it down the ice. Back out at center ice. Marwa, who did not play in the game last night, gave it to his captain Maloney. Then it's lost by Vasco, and Gilbert came up with a big save on Duguay. First save of the game. Puck comes out center ice. With it now is Lyle over the line. Drops it for Ogrodnik with a shot. He fired that wide. Each team short a man. Reed Larson back at center ice at his own blue line now. Larson flipped it ahead for Ogrodnik. John Ogrodnik was checked. It came back to Larson. Here's a chance for Lyle over the line, and he shot wide again. In behind his own goal, Phil Esposito. Esposito dumped it in toward the corner, and it's taken now by Maloney. Maloney up on the left side. That's Silk, number 16 for New York, clearing it in behind the Detroit goal. The Red Wings now have the extra man. They're at full strength. Puck comes out on the right side to Mike Foligno. Here's Foligno ahead to Dale McCourt. Wings with the extra man. McCourt's pass, though, broken up. A good play by Silk. At center ice, Willie Huber played it off on the left side, and Rick Smith dumped it back into the New York end, and it's fired down the ice. Bouncing around at the center ice zone, Willie Huber gives it now to Foligno. Mike Foligno over the line into the New York zone. Here's Foligno winding up with a shot. That's deflected off to the side. Vadnais knocked it down, and then a backhander by Dale McCourt, grabbed right in the goal mouth by Davidson.
Just as Mike Foligno went to fire the puck, there was a stick get out and deflected it. Dale McCourt tried to make a good play on a bouncing puck at the side of the net.
There are 10 seconds remaining in the penalty to Barry Beck.
I would think Big John Davison, coming back from an injury after missing 3 or 4 games, would be a little shaky early in this first period. You know, Blaisdell's shot early, well, back 2 or 3 minutes ago, had it been on the net. He could have scored. He shot from maybe 35 or 40 feet. Davison didn't move a muscle till the puck went by the open corner.
Now we have Jim Korn back in action. He didn't play last night, and he is up on the right wing right now. Up on the right wing with Nedomansky at center ice and LeBreton on the left side. Anders Hedberg coming out center ice. He pulled up at the line. It's knocked away from him by LeBreton. Beck is back, and both teams are at full strength. Puck up the right side. Korn goes after it. Couldn't reach it. Maloney cleared it over on the opposite wing, and Marwa dumps it into the Detroit end. Out of the net, Gilbert. There's another penalty coming up. A cross-checking penalty or interference to Vasco of Detroit. So the Wings again will play short a man. We'll be back with the New York power play after this.
The legendary Jeep vehicles. They've been transporting troops, delivering mail, weathering storms, and winning races longer than a lot of vehicles have even existed. Today's Jeep CJ is taking more kids to school, more couples out on the town, and more families to Paradise Lost than ever, and getting more miles per gallon than any four-wheeler built in America. 1981 Jeep CJ. The legend lives on. From Jeep Corporation of American Motors.
Well, a rash of minor penalties. Vasco now, he's off for interference. You can see the time, 3 minutes, 41 seconds.
And one thing the Wings cannot afford to do is take cheap penalties. Vasco cut, going for a loose puck in the corner, and he just seemed to let up a little bit and got in trouble because of it.
Esposito wins the draw. Nielsen hands it back. There's a shot fired by Greshner, knocked away, came right back to Greshner at the blue line. Greshner held it in, off to the side of the Detroit goal. Barry Beck, who's playing up front on the power play, plays it back to Greshner. He's got Nielsen on the other point, plays it off the circle now to Hedberg. Hedberg dumped it to the side of the net, steered along the glass by Gilbert, and it's caught right on the top of the boards there with Errol Thompson and Hedberg. Wednesday night at 7:30, the Detroit Red Wings are back in action against the Hartford Whalers. That'll be live hockey action, and it'll be right here on TV 50. A minute and 34 seconds remaining in Vasco's penalty. Wings have McCourt and Thompson on as penalty killers. A little bad ice out in front of the Detroit goal, so the linesman is working on that along with the referee. The Red Wings' next game will be Tuesday night at the Joe Louis Arena against the Chicago Blackhawks. You know, Sid, the Red Wings' record of 2-5, I'll grant you, isn't much. They've won the last 2, but you take a look at Montreal Canadiens, they're 2-5-1. The Boston Bruins, 2-6. New York Rangers, 2-6.
And there are 3 or 4 teams that have already lost 5 games.
That's
so,
right.
by a couple of wins, the Wings got right back in the thick of
There
things.
have been a lot of surprises, including some of the leading teams. Face off inside the Detroit blue line. The Rangers win the draw. Nilsson played it into the circle to Hedberg. Back on the point. Greshner put it out in front. It was deflected wide of the goal by Esposito. Taken off the boards now by Errol Thompson. He plays it ahead to Dale McCord, who took a long shot right on the net. An easy save for Davidson. The play in behind the Ranger goal. 1:10 left in the penalty to Detroit's Rick Vasco. Now Nielsen over on the right side. Greshner missed a check from Huber, but Huber tipped him away from the puck. Dale McCourt handed it back to Huber, and Huber fires it all the way down the ice, right to Davidson again. Now winding up is Nielsen. He plays it to Hedberg. Hedberg moves in with Esposito. Took the shot. He scores. Hedberg just cleanly beat Gilles Gilbert, and a power play goal gives New York a 1-0 lead.
This is not really a good goal. He shoots this puck. I think he surprises Gilbert. Gilbert is probably looking over here at the left side. The puck went on Gilbert's stick side, his glove side, down low. Hedberg got it away in a real hurry, just a little wrist shot, but it wasn't a good goal to give up. I was just going to mention the fact, too, Bruce, that New York had only scored 6 goals in 40-some opportunities, and they can put a pretty potent attack out there, but they finally do come up with Edberg scoring from Nilsson, and John Davison, the goaltender, gets an assist on that.
Well, the goaltender of last night, Wayne Thomas, drew an assist on a goal. Play goes back into the Ranger zone. Into the corner after it. Brent Peterson played it in behind the goal. Paul Woods was all tied up, couldn't get to it. Rick Smith held it in. Now moving with it, here's Blaisdell, or rather Gage. Gage's shot deflected into the corner. And Sullivan went after it, fired it down the ice. Doug Solomon, who was wearing number 9 for the Rangers, just called up, replacing an injured Walter Kachuk. Puck cleared out on the right side. Duguay stepped into the Red Wing player Peterson. They bang in along the boards, and sticks are up high, with a gathering of about 8 players, 4 aside. Duguay, Peterson. And while they untangle them, we'll pause for this message.
In this office, I've worked in the arms control tradition of 7 presidents, Democrat and Republican: Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, and myself. Though the arms buildup has gone on, though we in the Soviet Union now have enough explosive material on hand to destroy civilization, we have worked tirelessly with the Russians on this problem. We have always kept alive the effort, and there has never been a nuclear war.
Re-elect President Carter, the Democrat.
One of the newest for the Red Wings, back along the defense, wearing number 2, Rick Smith. Well, in our first intermission, we're going to be taking a look at the Hall of Fame ceremonies which were held in Toronto prior to the start of the season. We'll have our regular feature, the Fan Forum. This will be in our first intermission from here at New York's Madison Square Garden. Anders Hedberg on the power play from goaltender John Davidson and Ulf Nilsson. 4 minutes and 50 seconds, the only goal of the hockey game thus far. Both teams at full strength to face off in the Detroit zone. Peterson won the draw. In behind his own goal, Rick Smith. That pass is knocked away, and Duguay takes it. Duguay played it back on the left side, and it'll be held in here by Laidlaw. Laidlaw put it out in front. Paul Woods intercepts the wing move out, 3-on-2. Here's Woods carrying over the line. Woods trying to set his man up, instead fired a shot, was blocked well out in front of the goal. Coming right back, Cam Connor. Connor pulls his way over the Detroit line. Rick Smith tipped it away from him, but it's held in by Vadnais. Greg Jolly goes in behind the Detroit goal to retrieve it. Now Jolly starts out for Detroit. Drops it off for Rick Smith. Smith at center ice to Brent Peterson. Firing it off to the side of the goal. Peterson was knocked down by Allison, and Vadnais goes in behind his own goal. Carol Vadnais ahead to the rookie Laidlaw. Out at center ice it comes to Ed Johnston. Johnston's shot deflected away by Vasco of the Wings. Rick Smith didn't get it out, lost it. Here moving in is Silk with a shot, hit the goal post off to the right of Gilbert. Puck off to the side of the Detroit goal, into the corner at Johnston. He put it out in front. Here's another chance, and shooting wide, coming in was Marwa. As the Wings, careless in their own zone, finally clear it out to center ice. The linesman got hit with the puck, and Ed Johnston had to come quickly back to get it. Going in, Lyle took it away from him, and George Lyle rammed to the boards by Marwa. And the Rangers will move it out of their own end. It's flipped ahead by Maloney, taken at his own blue line by the Red Wing rookie Blaisdell. Mike Blaisdell, it bounced off the glass and evidently hit in toward the penalty box area, so they'll stop the play and hold the face-off just inside the Detroit blue line. We have played now just less than 7 minutes of the first period, and the Rangers lead 1-0.
And the Rangers are throwing their bodies around. They're going after the Wings a little more than they did last night. Last night was a chippy hockey game, but I noticed tonight the Wings have run into a few checks already. They've got to be careful of making mistakes in behind their own blue line because the Ranger Club move every man deep.
Well, here's the line that did all the scoring in last night's game and all on the power play. Harold Thompson had 3 assists and a goal. Dale McCord a goal and 2 assists. They're out with Mike Foligno right now. Play is in the New York zone. Mike Foligno ran into his man in the corner. The puck goes in behind the net for Marwa. Mario Marwa coming out in front of the Ranger goal. It comes out center ice. Here's Steve Vickers. Vickers pass back now to Ulf Nielsen. They took it into the Detroit zone. It went in behind the Red Wing goal. Going in after it now, Reed Larson. Larson didn't get the pass away. Ulf Nielsen stopped it. Harold Thompson took a kick at it, but the Rangers will play it. Hedberg in behind the goal. They take it into the corner. It's dug away again. Nelson sent it back to the line. Maloney with a shot, and that's kicked away. Good move on the part of Gilbert. Now Vickers let it go to the corner. Vasco goes in after it. They bounce each other in along the board. They're still kicking at it. It's finally held by Hedberg and Harold Thompson. And right now the Rangers are carrying the play to Detroit.
I would think, Bruce, this is the line that you have to stop with the Rangers. And of course, Esposito switches with a couple lines, but Nilsson and Edberg are such smart puck movers that the way they can carry it and bob around that you can't let them get in deep and get in the corners because they'll find the free man out in front.
Esposito's out now with Connors on the left wing, Duguay on the right side. Beck and Gretner back along the New York defense. Detroit with Peterson, Woods, Jody Gage. Buck was lost in behind the goal. Huber had trouble with it there. Huber went to the ice. Here's Connor right out in front. And Duguay wide open. Shot it wide of the goal. He was wide open. Puck taken off the boards now by Jody Gage. His pass skipped away from Paul Woods, so Greshner dumps it right back in. Willie Huber sends it up on the right wing. And the play had been whistled down by the referee. A puck knocked down with a high stick. Detroit coming into New York, one player over the limit, and they are not playing tonight, did not dress Dennis Polonic.
The Wings are going to have to find out, Bruce, if they can win on the road. There's the play in behind the net. And there's a lot of heavy checking going on. The Wings, Duguay took the pass right out in front, and his shot goes right by the open net. Gilbert come out to cover the angle.
Duguay holds it again, dumped it in behind the goal. It comes back on the left point to Barry Beck, and he shot it right up into the crowd. And that'll bring a face-off out over the Detroit Blue Line. I guess not. It must have come off a Detroit stick. They're going to hold at the rim of the circle in the Detroit end. We have played 8 minutes, 24 seconds of the first period, 1-0. Rangers lead on the power play goal by Hedberg. Blaisdell now with Lyle and Ogrodnik, the forward line of the Wings. Duguay sent it back to the line for Barry Beck, shooting it in behind the Detroit goal. Gilbert stopped it there for Willie Huber. Off to Blaisdell. He circles in behind his own goal again. Takes it into the corner. Now Blaisdell ahead to John Ogrodnik. He tipped it out to center ice, and the Rangers take it there. Connor clears it to the Detroit line. Knocked down by Willie Huber ahead to Lyle. Here now is John Ogrodnik going to the corner. Took a shot from a bad angle. Ogrodnik moved in behind the net. Tried to move it out in front, but that's knocked away. And here's Esposito. Hands it off to Duguay. Duguay into the Detroit zone. Took a long shot. The save made by Gilbert. Gilbert dumped it into the corner for John Ogrodnik. And the Rangers are doing the checking right now. Vadnais holds it in. Duguay plays it in the corner. Connor right out in front. And Gilbert made a great save as Esposito was wide open right in front of the Detroit goal. And with a pause in the action, we'll be back after this.
Trail boss on a cattle drive. You put in long days under the big sky, and when the work's over, you head for the mountains. Push. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Brewed the natural way, so it's always as smooth as its name. Push.
Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountain. Head for...
Beautiful pass out of the corner by Cam Connor, right out in front of the net. Big Phil Esposito left alone, but what a save. What a save Joe Bear makes on this play. The puck goes over deeper in the corner. Cam Connors comes in, gets a hold of it, and then right back out in front, and Joe Bear never moved over a towel. He just smothered the puck right along the ice. The biggest save of the game so far.
It's been all Rangers, though, thus far in the hockey game. They lead it 1-0. There's a shot by Laidlaw. Joe Bear got a skate on that, kicked it away. Reed Larson tipped it ahead, and now a pass from Thompson just too far out in front of Dale McCourt, and the Rangers start right back. Allison trying to work in, turning around, firing the shot out as far, goes off to the side. Picked up again by Allison. Puck came right to goal mouth, and again Gilbert had to kick that leg out and knock it away, and the Wings shoot it down the ice in desperation, and there'll be an icing call. Ed Hospodar had a great chance a moment ago.
Well, Bruce, they have just continually put pressure on the Wings, and the Wings are just reeling in behind their own blue line. They're not gathering themselves together and more or less rallying as a team. They're being beaten to the puck in the corner.
They are not playing the hockey they played last night.
No, they're being out-hustled and out-roughed right now. It's early in the game, though. We'll just have to wait and see. They can't afford to give up another goal right now.
Now Dale McCourt, Foligno, and Thompson again. The rookie Allison, Mike Allison, in against McCourt in the circle off to the right of the Detroit goal. The Wings move out. Here's Errol Thompson. He couldn't get to it. Vadnais took it away at center ice, and Thompson picked it up, shot it into the Ranger zone. Going in after it is Silk. Dave Silk clearing it up on the right side, and the Rangers' Ed Johnston turns out with it. Now Johnston's pass knocked down by Huber, picked up by Greg Jolly, and he just shot it back out center ice. Rangers will clear it right back in. Vadnais cleared it off the boards and behind the Detroit net. Jolly up on the right side for Foligno. Mike Foligno waited, then hands it off to Dale McCourt. He's checked. Now the Rangers come back with Vadnais on the right side. Allison fakes the shot. He and Jolly go into the corner after it. In along the boards, and the puck held for face-off to the left of the Detroit goal. And the Rangers at this stage of the game have outshot Detroit 7-2 and lead the game 1-0.
And of the 7 shots, I'm going to say 3 or 4 were the type that possibly could have gone in the net. And it's surprising the goal that Edberg did score was a shot that possibly could have been saved. I actually think Joe Gilbert was playing for a pass, and Edberg kind of snapped a wrist shot, caught him when he was trying to make a move.
So the face-off to the left side of the Detroit goal.
Gilbert has made